excited. We have one of my very, 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 very favorite guests on, favorite leader on, Tina Sherman of Moms Rising. Welcome. Woo, yay.
Thank you, Kristen. Happy to be here.
I'm excited that you're here because we have good news, bad news, right? And I love a moment of good news, bad news. So first, the bad news. Recently, there was the State of the Union by one Donald Trump, also known as the malignant Cheeto in some circles. I'm not saying
Boo.
who where. And there were so many lies, so many lies. One of the things he said was that the State of the Union is fine. It is not fine. We are not fine.
Fine.
Hello, we are having issues, people. Maternal health is in crisis. So in the good news, bad news, we have the bad news about the state of maternal health with Tina. And then we have some good news, believe it or not, about the wins that are happening despite the barriers that Donald Trump and Republican leaders are putting up for maternal health. So I don't know where to start. Do you want to start with the good or the bad news, Tina?
Well, I think can we continue with the bad news? Is that let's set the ground with continuing with the bad news. So
Okay, I'm ready.
first of all, yes, he starts out with the state of our union is great, and that obviously is not the case in so many areas. But when it comes to maternal health, we actually are in the middle of a maternal health crisis. And the fact that our president is not recognizing this is a huge problem. The United States is one of the most dangerous places in the world to give birth, where women are losing their lives. And the number of preventable deaths are near 90%, according to the CDC. And Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to lose their lives during childbirth or shortly after childbirth. And so we are by no means in a great state when it comes to maternal health in this country. And to make matters even worse, so I did say we'd start with like the really bad. To make matters even worse, the administration last year, when they put their budget forth, we're going to cut all of the amazing programs that are trying to tackle this issue because we recognize that the maternal health crisis is really takes a cross section of engagement and of support to tackle. But the administration was cutting all of the programs from the Perinatal Quality Collaborative to the to the National Maternal Mental Health Hotline, to the Healthy Start program, to the Maternal Mortality Review Committees, which I don't know if your listeners are aware of all of these, very, very wonky, very in the weeds, but these are all programs run by the federal government that really help to collect the data, tell us where the issues are, and and then subsequently programs to help tackle these issues. And so the mere fact that the administration was literally, when I say cut, let me be more clear, he zeroed them out. We're going to not fund them at all. We know that there have been tremendous cuts in the federal government. And I think he bragged about that. People losing their jobs. I think I heard that he bragged about that because, let me be clear, I didn't watch the State of the Union. He did brag about people losing their jobs and cutting the federal workforce. But we know that many of these programs are really at the core and at the center of tackling the maternal health crisis. So that's the bad news. Can I start with the good news, Kristen?
Well, let's talk about the bad news a little bit more.
Okay.
Because I gotta talk about the bad news. We gotta talk about this.
Okay.
I just want to restate a little bit what you said. That is, Donald Trump zeroed out maternal health funding in many programs as he erroneously bragged that he is making America better and more healthy. And let's talk about this too, the more healthy part. I almost fainted. Yes, I watched it. I maybe wish I didn't watch it, but I almost fainted because he said that he has expanded healthcare access. And of course, maternal health is also about healthcare access when in fact, and I feel like I'm going to say in fact, because these are actual facts. It's not an opinion of mine. And the big bad bill, which he calls the big beautiful bill, there was over $100 million cut out of healthcare. And in fact, the extension of the Affordable Care Act tax breaks, he allowed to fail to continue. That means a 70 to 90% increase in healthcare costs to people. 70 to 90% increase in healthcare costs, you all. So we are seeing across the board a president who is lying before our eyes on such major things. I mean, these are not like, oh, I slipped and kind of told a half truth, or, oh, I slipped and like maybe it was partly right. No, these are like actually the opposite of what's happening. And I have worked in politics since what feels like, maybe the early 1100s. And I've never seen anything like this of a Democrat or Republican or anybody of any party where there's just like the flat out line, where there's the evisceration of policies in real life and then talking about as if he'd done the opposite. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Nothing. And we will hopefully never see anything like this again. But that's a conversation for later.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, and it's frustrating to me to watch and to listen and to read the quotes because, you and I and the over a million members of Moms Rising are working on these policies every single day. And we know the truth that he's rolling back access to healthcare, rolling back access to maternal health. And importantly, let's put another pet peeve on the table. He had promised to make sure that the chemicals in Roundup, which is a herbicide, would not be in our food. And in fact, he reversed that recently with an executive order and is allowing those chemicals into our food, just wide use, and that impacts maternal health and breastfeeding health. So can we take a little pause on that? This is a little surprise issue area, but I know you know about it.
Yes, no, terrifying, because our environment absolutely affects our environment and the foods that where things are grown and how they are grown, how we ingest them are absolutely affect our overall health. And the fact that we are now he has allowed the Roundup and other herbicides to be a part continue to be a part of the ecosystem is huge. And under the guise of, again, quote, making America healthy, is complete BS.
Yeah, I mean, it's awful. So Trump made an executive order to boost the production of glyphosate, which is in Roundup, and it's found in our breads. It's found in all kinds of places, and it is one of those lifelong chemicals that is harmful. It's a broad spectrum systemic herbicide and a crop desiccant, which means it dries out the crop. And has been proven time and time again to be harmful to kids, like actually harmful to kids. And actually, because of that, Maha moms, hello, do you know a Maha mom, have been really supportive of RFK Jr. and to some extent Donald Trump because of their promises to roll back glyphosate in our foods. But they have not done that. They've done the opposite. They've expanded that. So to anyone who's listening who knows a Maha mom, hello, we are here for you. Come join Moms Rising because we agree there should be no glyphosate, no Roundup in our foods. And also we want truth. What do you think about that, Tina?
We want more truth, less lies. Can I hit on those lies for just a moment? I know we're gonna get to the positive, but can we hit on the lies? The lies that have been told over the last year over Tylenol and hepatitis B, and we've been doing a lot to get the correct information out, but the misinformation and the lies that are coming from this administration are horrendous, and it's scary because now we're making it so that people cannot trust what our government is telling us. And that's terrifying.
Yes. They're firing scientists, stopping scientific research, and hiring people for positions that require a scientific background who do not have that at all. Like, opinion is not science, people. We know that. Please, Donald Trump and your administration and RFK Jr., who apparently thinks that taking a cold plunge in your jeans is helpful, should know that too. But apparently they don't.
I was to say, we did not take this lightly, right? We saw what was coming. We did not take this lightly. And we fought really hard. Our members showed up. Our members signed thousands of petitions, made hundreds of phone calls, and huge win coming into 2026 is that all of those programs that we talked about to protect maternal health are not only do they not get zeroed out, but a few of them, most of them were funded at least to the funding levels that they were previously funded, and a handful of them we were able to advocate for additional funding, including stillbirth prevention, including the maternal mental health hotline. So huge, and that is all of you, that is all of our members making those phone calls, signing those petitions, sharing your stories. And so we know that engaging around these issues, sharing the information instead of the misinformation is what we have to continue to do while this regime is in office.
150%. And I love that you said, here's what we have to do: share the information, not the disinformation. And you all, did you hear the wins? She just shared some big wins. They were against all odds wins. They were wins that happened, as Tina said, because me, you, and us didn't give up, raised our voices, shared what was going on, reached out to our members of Congress, many of whom are our champions, and said, don't give up on us or on the maternal health of America. So in the spirit of not giving up, what can people do? We have like 3 minutes left. People are like, wait, what's happening? What can they do?
Well, first of all, don't step away. This is when we need you now. We need to continue to let our champions know that we are behind them 100%, that we appreciate their support in ensuring that this funding will still there and it will still be there in support of maternal health. We need them to know your stories because they don't know your stories. So please engage with us, share your stories with your member of Congress. We have many different ways you can do that. Just go to our website at momsrising.org. Sign our petitions, be on the lookout. We try to make it really, really easy. We know you're busy. We try to give you just enough information. And then if you want to go down and dig a hole, I always want to go down and learn a little bit more down a rabbit hole. We're going to give you all of that information. Sign up for our news alerts if you're not already, and find out when these issues are coming before Congress, and engage with us and let your members of Congress know.
Yeah, 150%. Because even though the headlines are quite honestly nearly unreadable, they're so bad. Seeing the little wins that are happening along the way, seeing the people that keep believing in our democracy, because that belief in democracy is what's going to keep our democracy going. Seeing people who find hope and joy in one another, and seeing people who believe that we can build a better tomorrow is really, really hopeful to me. So people, if you're feeling unhopeful, go ahead and just join Moms Rising. It's free. We're your research and development area for building a movement for a better tomorrow. And we're always here for you. And Tina, do you have any closing words?
I do not.
You do not? Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for sharing the real mom state of the union when we had a whole bunch of hot air and weirdness coming from the president on that same topic earlier this week. Thank you.
Thank you.